how I've missed thee. It's me, Ice the Man, and back with EBA tonight. I have a great show. Yes, I was off for a week. I apologize. I was stuck in internet hell in my hotel all the way out in San Francisco, so I was not able to do a show last week. This week we're going to do it early because I have to go to Atlanta for something else, so I have to still give my fans the EBA Tonight experience. So, first of all, let me introduce my co-host, my friend, my pal, my buddy, Mr. Texas James Smith, the commish.
Yeah. Back, feeling good, man. Ready to get this going. It's a struggle, but we're ready for this next season, man. Still working on it.
We got some struggles in the off-season we'll talk about a little bit. Speaking of struggles in the off-season, coming off of a great season, I got my friend here, King Mizark, my owner, my brother from another mother, right? King Mizark is here with us tonight. How you doing, King?
What's going on? Ice doing good, on top.
On top right now, coming off of a great season, which we'll talk a little bit here. For those of you that missed the last couple weeks of the season, like me, when playoffs are over, if I didn't make it, I just kind of check out. But which we'll jump right into right now. Let's talk a little bit of playoffs. I mean, overall experience of the playoffs. How do you think they kind of, as a commish, how do you think they kind of played out? Were you happy with the playoffs? Were you happy with the results and everything coming out?
I was very happy with the teams we had in the playoffs, especially since my team was there. But other than that, I was very happy with, we had Miz, we had Kuro, even though that ended in a disaster. But, the Celtics made it. Warriors were all obviously there, and you can't be mad at the playoffs when Goliath gets knocked down by a slang of a rock, man. Talking about Miz taking out them Warriors, man. That was definitely something that we was all hyped to see, and something that really blew a lot of us away.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. That felt like the finals to me. That those games, I mean, we were pretty hyped. I know in the locker room and even trying to get into the games, let's go, let's take them mentality. So, I mean, Miz, you were there throughout the whole experience, owning that team, pushing that team. We'll talk about the final game in a minute, but really what the commish just said, the playoff experience totally. Last year you had probably the best, thought the best chance to take it all with the team that you had, coming off an amazing season last season, owner of the year. And then, you kind of fell out in that first round, I believe it was, or second round. It was a second round because you made it all the way. You got a bye week the first week. So this time you actually beat the big Golden State Warriors to make it into the finals. How did that feel for you, Mizark? I mean, were you like, this is why we play?
Yeah, I mean, our goal every season is to beat the Warriors. I mean, to come out on top. I mean, last season was a disappointment for us. Even, regular season doesn't matter. So, it was great, honestly. I mean, I knew we had a chance. I had a game plan. I let both of my lines know exactly what we needed to do to compete and to win. And, I'm glad we got it done.
No problemo.
Yeah, that's I mean, as being on the team, I can tell you my experience this year was amazing. Being able to step in and just fill a role, going into week 3. And being a part of the team and actually beating Golden State. Like I said, I felt like it was the finals because I wasn't able to make the finals. So to me, that was pretty awesome. And you guys ended up, I think, someone stepped up and ended up going into the finals. So speaking of the finals, Los Angeles Clippers champions of Season 6. I mean, that's King Mizark. That you have to consider this season a success, right?
Of course. We at points, we all raged and wanted to quit some games and thought when Chris Paul and Blake went down, we really thought our season was pretty much over. But I mean, I'm glad my team stuck it out. They showed up to every game. We didn't have any forfeits, and we figured out what to do and came out on top. So yeah, I do consider it a success.
So Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Clippers was the final game. You guys beat them in 5. You ended up losing 1 game, and Dimes, I believe, played in a couple of those games as well because he was back from winning that money. But looking at the Boston Celtics, do you consider them as competitive as the Golden State when we played them, or would you consider the hardest game playing through was Grizzlies kind of just gave up and left us? We were going to take that series anyway, but they gave up and left us. to me, like I said, the hardest games was definitely against the 2K gods themselves, the Warriors. And then from there, stepping forward into Boston, I thought, well, we should easily beat them. I had us beating them in 5 as well, just because you can never count out another team might pull out a win. But what were your thoughts going into that game against Boston? And would you say that was the hardest? Was that the true finals for you, or was the finals definitely earlier in the playoffs?
No, I would say my final. Not trying to be cocky, but the finals were the Warriors to me. Um, Boston, they're just too small. I mean, and they really, Isaiah's small or Al Horford's small. I wasn't really worried about facing them because, they don't have a, glitchy player like Curry or Clay or Durant. Curry and Durant, realistically. But yeah, Warriors were our finals. Shumpin shots had the best record the whole regular season. They were heavily favorited by everyone. Besides, I mean, the last guests on EBA tonight, those are some smart guys. But yeah, that was our finals, in my opinion.
So to move over to you now, Kamish, looking at the playoffs in the total, the champions, Los Angeles Clippers, King Mizark pulling it down. Like you said, slaying the Goliath of Golden State.
I've made it abundantly clear, not to suck anyone off here, but that I thought Miz is the best owner that the EBA has ever had. And I think that people realize that. So, when Miz stepped down from owner and took over staff, nobody wants to sign up as owner because, they had to force Miz back. And now that Miz is back, the owner signups are going to come in.
Well, see,
that's a given.
And that's breaking news.
They were just waiting for that.
Right? So, that's something that we just found out tonight when we got together here.
Right. Indeed. Miz is back.
Breaking news, things. Mizark, you just announced that you're going to step down from staff and in order to help the league, because it's harder to find good owners than it is for good staff. Staff is an admin role. It's important to have staff people. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, but it's really managing the league. It's not really the hardest to me. And even if you ask, I've been owner, been everything in all of these leagues, all the way up to commish. And then I've also, if you ask Mags, even, Magician, he's been everything as well. And we both said, shit, I'd rather be staff 100 times than be owner, 5. It's just.
Well, so y'all had each other.
Yeah.
Y'all had each other.
Well, it's important to have a good staff around you.
It was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. It's rough.
But
I mean, you have support as well if you need it.
Right. And if you have good owners as staff, it makes being staff so much easier. The hardest thing about being a staff is taking all the hate. You get so much hate for being staff because everybody thinks you're trying to do them wrong when, you're just trying to make the league run as smooth as possible. And we're not always perfect. Mistakes do happen, but that's the hardest thing about being staff and being an owner, especially in the basketball league. You got to babysit 10 people, 9 if you don't want to babysit yourself. That's cool. Some people are bigger men than others, but that's the roughest part about it.
Well,
man.
I think it's more than
hard.
just babysitting for an owner, and Mizart can back me up on this in this league, especially because you have so many different attitudes to deal with, and especially with training camp, you've just got so many different
I've been an
attitudes and meshment. You understand. It's just with an owner or with the league guy, there's a lot of crap you have to do, and it gets stressful, and you got to make sure you do things on time. And like I said, every decision you make is a wrong one in somebody's eyes, no matter who you are or what you do. So that part, but I mean, I could care less what people think about me. That's why I'm saying I'd rather be staff than be owner. But King Mizark, so announcement here. Let me play the announcement music again. Right here on EBA tonight. Rumor has it you're stepping down and taking ownership to come with a back-to-back championship. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing. I wanted to go out on top, like Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning, MJ, but I'm back. I'm without my sidekick, so my Scottie Pippen is gone. I'm planning on, probably going in without a GM. Honestly, I mean, I don't know who else is gonna be, worth 30% of my cap that can, that George was to me. So I am going back into ownership, and I plan on, sticking it out through and, doing it myself this time.
Gotcha. So looking for
it's
that
always good to have
number 1 pick.
It's always good to have your sidekick, bro. Batman needs Robin, and all those other bullshit sidekicks that nobody can remember.
I was Robin. I'm not gonna lie. I might have been Robin's assistant on my team, my owners, because I
Damn.
had Majestic and George on my team. But
So did we give owner of the year 2 seasons ago to the wrong person? Do we need to fix that?
Well,
I mean,
that's
hey,
the
I mean,
point.
look, I'm the brains. I'm the brains behind everything. I put it together. I put the lines together, but I mean,
respect.
No,
you
it's
know,
really
man.
it's really about building putting the right guys in the right situation. So
Absolutely.
that's what owner,
Absolutely.
just like the staff I think did last season with putting the owners where they're at. Yeah, there's probably a couple owners you could definitely call suspect on, but none of them quit. You weren't forced to remove, even though it got shady there in the 4th week. Which, like I said, has never happened in any season that I can ever remember. But back to Los Angeles Clippers as champion, beating them in 5. Beating Boston. Congratulations to the Clippers, including myself. You brought some ice, and congratulations to King Mizark and G Money. Who else was Majestic? LaBum was on our team. White Ice Fresh. There's who else am I missing?
Too Cool, King
Too Cool,
Havoc.
King Havoc, yeah.
Call Me Kyle stepped up.
He did. He stepped up in the finals, took my spot. I mean, he wasn't as good as me, but he still did. No, I'm just kidding. He did a good job. I appreciate him stepping in for me while I was away. Life got in the way. But other than that, I mean, congratulations to the Los Angeles Clippers. So that is out of the way. Season over. Season done. Put in the books. Payroll is done, by the way. Let's talk around the league. So around the league, some things going on. I always like to pull up the website itself over here in order to kind of go through around the league right now. Free agents, let's talk, because that's really where it's at. So free agents, 74 members right now. If you figure it out in your head, there's 10 people per team, so you really need at least 100 guys, plus you want a decent free agency. So you're going to want 100 plus guys. We really need some signups to step up. And in order to do that, let's look at here and look at some names. I don't know if you guys have up your thing here, but who are we missing? Shout out to Defective Lego. He's actually an owner in the EHL. He's coming over to give EBA a shot, so shout out to him.
All right. Word up. Broaden his horizon. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, EHL supposed to start bidding this Sunday, as long as all the owners report in to where they need to be. But back to EBA. Let me see here. Silent Shots signed up. You got a couple owners in here. Revolve's not owning again this season. He's decided to go ahead and give it a shot in the free agency.
Yeah, he stepped down, man. I missing a few names in here. I don't see CW in here. Where's that dude at? That dude he signed up late last season. Like, where the hell was he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, CW's not in here. You got bums like Cuban on Xbox in here. We should have other bums signing up as well.
I ball so hard, he's in here trying to make a name for himself.
I ball so hard, yeah, there he is. I'm Uncle Willie's
Cuban's
son.
a Power Forward of the Year winner. He deserves some respect.
Oh shit, Cuban. Remix is in here, so he's gonna give a shout out to that. I don't see a few. What normal names do we usually see? Who was last season? Do you see anybody?
Where's Drew?
Where's Drew? The real Uncle Drew I don't see in here.
Yeah, Drew's not up in here. Where is it? Is Majestic in here?
Let me see. Where's Majestic at? He's probably running slow. I don't see Majestic in here either. He's playing
Majestic
again.
In here.
He's playing again.
What's up, Miz? Get your boys in line,
Get your
bro.
boys on. Get them in line. I don't see LaBum. Is LaBum still going to play again? Is he done? I know he wasn't too excited.
No,
about
LaBum's in there, dude.
Oh, he is in there. My fault, LaBum. There he is. All right. I like that kid. He's cool.
I don't see Fig, man. Fig. But even though if he did sign up, he probably ain't gonna be here. But he's still in here.
It's just a blacklist, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, but I don't see.
Has got Grim Squad in there? Yeah, he is. He is in there.
We're missing a lot of people up in here, man. There's a lot of people that have not signed up.
There's a new guy here, white name, Gradient Dig 1. So that's.
How about big. Woody? Where the hell's Woody? Woody's not in here.
Yeah, it was Woody's playing.
Facts.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell him to sign up right now.
What? Come on now. Woody's not in here. Not acceptable. There's White Ice Fresh.
Woody.
At Woody. Where the hell is your sign up at?
Take your ass over to the free agency.
Look at Zabriel still repping his Portland Trailblazers and Trainer still repping his Oklahoma City. Let go. Gosh, I mean, realistically here, you take out 10 owners, you still need a good 90 people. We're at 74. We need some sign-ups. So holler at you guys, get guys over, get them signed up. That's around the league there in free agency. Also,
If everybody on this list brought one friend, we can start tomorrow. Everybody brings
okay.
one friend, man. We could get this popping.
Well, and that brings us to the next thing here. Owners. Okay? A little bit of owner application going on here. So far, King Mizark, of course, announced he wants to come back. Obviously, he's at the top, one of the top guys at your list. I heard that Trainer's also coming back to own.
Trainer's coming back.
Shump is also coming back to own, right?
Yeah, so
And then
so
who am I
my
missing?
guys
Who's number 4?
We've been doing some interviews today.
Okay.
We got Mike. Mike is coming
Mike,
back.
okay, so Mike,
as
man,
well.
is coming back. So there's 4 owners that I feel are solid, strong owners. Now you need to
Eastern
replace
is definitely
6.
in.
Eastern is in. Okay.
Eastern is in.
That's big.
Assassin's gonna be in. He's in.
Garbage Assassin. Now there's a little bit of drama
Dimes.
there.
One of the most feared members
feared
in the EBA community.
player of the EBA. He needs this. Hold on, I gotta play. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Garbage Assassin is returning or starting his ownership career. So
Oh, wow.
Some Undertaker
that
music.
was a great, inspiring legend that you made up.
So he is definitely a legend. So I mean that's gonna be huge. But the big news there is Garbage always played with like Pink Fossa, Tortuga, which I've seen on the blacklist this year.
I keep getting a lot of information about Shump, and everybody keeps saying that he's a question mark because something about if it takes too long for the season to start, is gonna like his school's gonna interfere with that shit and stuff like that. So
you don't want that.
Count him in right now, but we're planning for the worst.
Well, the Dimes, Mr. 250K himself signed up to be owner in the EBA. So I mean, that's a big that's a holler out. Yeah,
that's a given. That's an owner right there. You can look for it. You look at that, call that 100.
I mean, he takes it pretty
these
serious.
Guys that are stepping up, man.
I know he's playing a lot of PS4
guys that are stepping
lately.
up, man, are very appreciated, man. Dimes and Eastern and Garbage, all these guys, man. Yes, sir, Ripsy. Talk to Ripsy. He seems like a good dude, man. We might give him an opportunity here to be a new owner. He might be the next Miz. We're looking for the next Miz and all these. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for.
Well, Garbage Assassin just sent me a message and told me he's going to be the next owner of this year. You might as well give it to him the award right now. So give that to Garbage Assassin. Okay. No, I didn't hear from him, but I'm sure that's what he's thinking. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Anyway,
I mean, I can't beef with that guy, dude.
You don't want none of him, dude. You don't want to get on his bad side. You will get dropped by garbage. Dropped by garbage. So definitely don't do that. So you do need a couple more owner signups. Am I right on that? Like you are still looking for solid ownerships.
We're still looking. If anybody's interested in being an owner, man, we're still looking. We want to make sure we have the best quality owners for the best team up league in the world. So definitely looking out, man.
Much love.
Definitely looking out.
So as I said, payouts were done, so everybody got their EC today. I tried the new system, so if someone's EC is not correct, definitely holler at me because I have a built-in back system now that I just have to go in and enter in awards and then staff money, and it should go right through. But the highest paid player in the EBA this year at 16.5 million was G Money. So 16.5 million. He had 5.5 in salary and 11 million in awards and bonuses. So he was setting at 16.5 million. At 15 million, it was Shump Life, which he gets a 7 million salary for being an owner. The system, all the owners that forfeited this season, the system did not hit you for forfeits, which I think Shump only did one anyway. I think he did none. I can't remember if he did one or none. So it's not really affecting him either way. But he is only 3 EC behind, setting at 15 million. Then it's Let's Get It's Boy. Look at the commish up there. It's Texas James Smith at 12 million. King John at 12 million. Those guys that big salary for staff to help them out a bit. And then King Mizark is up there. The Clippers setting it at 11.5. And Majestic. Of course, those that win both the Western Conference and the Finals get a big boost in salary. So these guys are looking pretty hot. If you want to go in and look at them, pull down, check them out, you can see the top paid players in the EBA at the end of the season, which Affects, of course, your EC. Also, just kind of quick numbers. We were sitting at 163, which was one less than last season, total numbers, with 25 blacklists. So that sets at 15% total blacklist, which is up from last season a little bit. But we did give out more EC because I guess the way that worked with changing the setup worked with. I'd like to go back to where we had 217 players or 242 players back season 2, season 3, but even the shitty season 4 was 207. So, but we need to get more signups and get that rolling if that's the way we're going to go moving forward. But any questions on the EBA payroll? It should be done. If you're not correct, please get with me because I just went through and did it through our new automatic system on the back end, which took me an hour. So it used to take me days. Now it takes me an hour. Anything else going on around the league that we need to know about? We'll talk rules and changes and stuff in a minute, but I'm just talking about around the league in regards to I don't know, just around the league, like in regards to the league itself. Anything you could think of, Kamish?
No. Just that just that I appreciate all these owners that are stepping up, man. These guys are coming out of the woodworks, man, and really trying to do something for this league, and they love the league as much as anybody else here. So no matter if they're new owners or returning owners or anything, man, y'all should give all these guys a chance, man. If you're watching this and you don't have plans for next season, get into the chats, man. Get in there, look for tryouts, man. Do your thing, man, because these guys, if they don't know you, they're not gonna come at you. You know what I mean? You got approach them, let them know that you're looking for a try, you're trying to get on a team, and make that happen, man. Take advantage of every opportunity you have.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a 2-time champion corner monkey, so anybody needs a corner monkey, hit me up. I'm here. Big shout out to Miz and everybody else who's stepping up and helping out in ownership. So Commissioner's Corner, we'll jump right into that as well. There's been some, because you were acting staff for a little bit, King Mizark. Was there something else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just I got some hate mail here, but I gotta throw a shout out to my man Realist, stepping up as a staff member for once. I've been trying to get him to do it since I've been here, and he's finally stepping up to help out the league as well, man.
Well, that jumps right into the Commissioner Corner. I want to hear about everybody on your staff. So let's talk Commissioner Corner staff. It got you, and you're talking about Realist stepping up, right?
Realist, man. And let me say something on the previous season, man. Every season I've had that one guy that has came through and done big things for my for my organization, I guess you could say, as staff. But first I had Z, actually, man. He's the only, first he's the only guy that didn't quit on me. He was there from the beginning to the end, and that was when I was doing things almost all by myself. If it wasn't for him, I'd have fell apart, man. Last season, Z was still there. He came through for me big. King John came through big for me last season, man.
Now, is either one of those returning as staff?
Nope. No, they're both leaving me. They're both leaving me, man.
Mayday.
Dropped me off in the kiddie bull and walked away. But, hey, I appreciate everything they did, man. And they'll always have a spot on my staff if they ever want to come back. So, and then this year, we had Miz step up and he was going to do something for us, but he was wanted elsewhere. So, he went over and he's doing owner things now. He's going above and beyond, and we salute your duty, sir. Also,
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Realist, like I said, he's coming through. Still got Woody. I know a lot of motherfuckers don't like Woody.
Wow.
A lot of people don't like Woody, but he's there, man, and he was there all season. So all season last season. But yeah, so that's my staff, man. That's what we're looking at right now.
Staff
just me,
is
Realist, and Woody right now.
Realist and Woody, the three amigos.
Evidence.
Evidence
We're trying to talk to Evidence. He's looking to come in. Also, actually talking to Remix. A lot of people know me and Remix have had beef. Going back to the VFL days, apparently he's always had a problem with me, man. But I talked to the dude, man. He's pretty genuine. He really wants to help the league out, and regardless of whatever issues he's had with me or whatever, man, that says a lot for somebody to step up and do that, and it's much appreciated.
Well, and I always tell people, the first thing I tell them that they bitch, well, your staff's garbage, or because I hear it, believe it or not, I fucking hop in, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
I get attacked in a party, and I'm just here to play like everybody else. But your site's garbage, or your staff who runs it, or dickheads, or whatever. The first thing I say, well, if you don't like it, step up and be staff, because you can't talk shit until you're there. Because if you're not trying to better it, all you're doing is sitting back crying about it, and that's usually my response to everything. So again, I know Remix can be hard to deal with it sometimes. However, you
Remix
know,
is a cool guy.
if you challenge him and say, if you challenge him and say, well, if you don't like it, maybe you should be staff, and if he's wanting to step up and be staff, I mean, you know what
No,
I'm saying? If you
I have no problem
throw
with
the
it, man.
gauntlet down,
I mean, I'm not one to hold a grudge to somebody, man. Forgive and forget. It is what it is. Whatever, he's had beef with me as a staff, and what we did last season, and which almost everybody does. Everybody feels like we're trying to get over on somebody else, but it's good to look through the mirror on the other side, man. You know what I mean? So, I'd like to see him get in there and do some work. I still got to talk to him. Last time I was gonna talk to him as an interview. I only got to do some group me stuff, but I'm gonna talk to him, voice to voice, and see what he's about. But when he gets the mic fixed, so I'm looking forward to having him as staff. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a change up. Let him see what it is on this side of the table. Um, mm, yeah. So hopefully we'll be having evidence of Remix join our squad here shortly as well.
good. Okay, so you've got 3 amigos. For those of you just joining us, King Mizark stepping down as staff. Well, we're not really stepping down, but filling a role much needed, which is ownership, because like we were discussing, previous, that it's way more important to have 10 solid owners. It makes it a lot less stressful on the staff members as well. So, big out to those guys that are stepping up and being good owners. Um, Commissioner's Corner, a little bit on that as well. Any rule changes? Now, I've been peeking because I have that ability to do, and I've seen some votes placed one or the other. So tell me. First, I want to go back to King Mizar just real fast because this is a question that I wanted to ask him. I haven't had a chance to talk to him since our group me. Everybody kicked out. Like, here's your championship. Now get the fuck out of the group me. So, King Mizar, do you still feel, even though Golden State, you beat them going into the finals, do you still feel they need to be banned?
Yes. Plain and simple, yes. I was talking about it with James, when I was staff, but I'm sure, my vote is going to be nullified now, and, they're probably going to do a revote or whatever. But yeah, I do feel, I was on the fence that Durant got injured,
Mm-hmm.
but I still feel like they should be banned. I don't know, man. I just don't enjoy playing them and having to guard someone at half court. And I mean, they're still an overpowered team compared to everyone else. So
I
yeah, I
mean,
do think they should be banned.
you take Shump Squad and you put them on Cleveland. I wouldn't want to play those fuckers on Cleveland, to be honest with you. The Cleveland's broke right now. Especially since they brought Bogut on as center.
Well, Bogut's out for a year now.
Oh, is he out? Okay, well that's not too bad then.
Yeah,
I
he
guess,
just he
so
tore
can
his
still...
or he got injured 2 minutes into his Cavs debut. But I mean, hey, I mean,
I wasn't paying attention. That's how much I'm paying attention to the world around me lately. But I did hear he went there. So, but now they're still weak at the 5. But they still have a strong 1 through 4, I think.
I think the Cavs are a great team. Going back and forth, talking, taking other people's opinions. I don't feel like they banned because I mean, in my opinion, people don't know how to play with LeBron. They use LeBron like he's a center with no jump shot and no handles and doesn't have 40 badges. So until someone figures out how to play with LeBron in the EBA, then I don't feel like they should be banned.
Well, and I would say the same thing with. There's people that know how to play with Durant, but there's also a lot of guys that we played this season that don't. Shump really carried his line, I think, most of the season.
Well, I don't
at the
feel
1.
like they gave their Durant a chance. I mean,
That's probably true.
that's a problem with the Cavs and the Warriors that these Kyries and these Currys are so ball dominant that the ball is in their hand every single time. Durant, in my opinion, is the best player in the game, if not the second best, easily. I mean, he rebounds, he shoots, he can dribble, he could do it all, and he's super lanky and tall.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't feel like, the past couple seasons, whoever was on the Cavs and whoever was on the Warriors, they didn't even give their Durant a shot. It was always Curry, or Kyrie, and spamming the Kyrie Hall of Fame ankle breaker.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that they're by far now easily the first pick if you take out the Warriors. So back to the commissioner. The commission, is that even a vote, or that vote passed, or is that a vote being taken on to owners now?
We've had some staff members, that want to just like forget about the vote, just take them out. And we have some that want to actually take it to an actual vote and see what other people think. I think we're going to, once we decide the owners, we're going to let the owners pretty much decide their own fate. And I understand that they want to think about, well, I want to play with Golden State, but you got to think you got a 1 in 10 chance of actually getting Golden State. So it's something that I don't want to I don't want to bring to a vote, but it would be very you know, biased of me to just be like, well, fuck what the owners think. It doesn't matter. I don't want to play them, so let me just take them out. I'm just one person.
Yeah, I don't think that's
staff,
fair.
We're only a small percentage of who actually plays in the league. So, we're gonna let the owners vote along as well, because they're the ones picking the team. They know what they're pretty much speaking for their guys. And so we're gonna go ahead and let the owners do a vote as well, and we're just gonna put all our votes together and see what it comes out at. I'm hoping it passes. You know what I mean? But so we'll see where that goes.
I'm gonna be honest. I was playing them this season. I was 100% on these guys need to be banned. This is ridiculous mentality. At the beginning of the season, I was like, nah, give them a shot. I don't, let's see if they could repeat or whatever as a team. And then throughout the season had one of the best records. I think one or two losses all season. And then I was kind of like, man, I hate playing. I mean, just hated playing them. Every time we had to scheduled against them, I hated it. I dreaded it. It was hard to. It just seemed like 2K was going to beat you, and the talent that was behind the players was just doubled on top of the players themselves. So I was kind of like, I want them gone, and I was be 100%. But then we beat them, and I kind of went back to the fence. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of on the fence with, okay, they're beatable. I think Shump's team was better than what's his name's team
Well,
that had
see,
them the year
Shump's team
before.
started out. I feel like Shump's team started out better. They didn't use Ruthless. You know what I mean, and they lost a couple of their key guys like Swizzerk and DL and whoever the other guy was, which was a big part of their early onset of just kicking ass. And then when you get to the playoffs and you got a team like Miz's guys, which they know what they want, they know what they're gonna do. They slipped, and it happens, man. It happens. But I don't think that. I mean, look, it went what 6 games, 7 games. I mean,
5.
Was it damn? Was it 5?
Yeah, it was
Goodness.
5 or 6.
Okay.
Was it 5 or 6?
They beat they beat my first line.
Yeah.
They were actually up 2-0 on us, so
2-0,
we
so
came
it
back.
went 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so it did go
Yeah,
6.
I mean
Yeah, it did go 6.
it's something that I feel like it was just bad timing for Shump, and it's also
I'm gonna
it's
be
also
honest,
something to
James.
consider.
Those players wouldn't have made a difference. Swizzer, whoever the hell you want to mention, they wouldn't have made a difference. Because at the end of the day,
because you won, but
no. I'm gonna give you a reasoning. I'm gonna give you a reasoning because he didn't get bad TCs. He got a bunch of great pro-am guys, and at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lose to. First of all, Durant was out of the picture, so at the end of the day, he would have still had those same Draymonds and those same McGee's, and they were garbage, plain and simple. And we would have beat them. We would have beat them in the paint regardless.
But
so.
You didn't beat a team Shump wanted. You beat a team Shump had, which is good for you. You still beat the Warriors, and it's a big fucking deal. And for us to make it a big deal, even then, it says something. It does.
Rick, where'd you get a hand grenade? I don't know.
It's just I was gonna say something, and I forgot what I was gonna say, but
He's throwing grenades over here. It's like it doesn't matter who you bring to the court. Clippers are gonna slap him. So.
No, I feel it, man. I feel it, but it's one of those things that that some didn't have the team that he wanted there. A lot of his guys quit on him, regardless of however you want to look at it. The TCs, they were randomly assigned to him; they weren't his chosen guys. So it's tough to win that way. At least Caro,
Hey, those TCs would have gone for over 2 million in the draft, and he had about 3 of them.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
No.
but I understand what you're saying
And
as well,
still,
that it's hard to build that chemistry. He had chemistry already. Crow and his guys had chemistry, so does that put them over? I have no clue. But if they would have won this season, I still would have been on the let's ban the hell out of them board. But the fact that they lost the way that they did in 6 games, and how dominant, because not only now you have to worry about the paint play of um, of the Clippers, but the Clippers get stronger with CP3 back, so now you have to worry that they by far become the #1 pick in the West, and then you also, I mean, the Pelicans
wow.
are strong
Wait,
on the
what?
West. Dude,
You
He's
think
saying
the
without the
Clippers are number one?
Warriors.
without the Warriors,
without
yeah,
the
without the
Warriors, okay.
Warriors, they're by far the
Okay,
number
yeah.
one. Yeah, I mean, nobody's even near them. I think when it comes to, I mean, you could compete with them in the paint, but the Warriors, that's where they were always weak, is in the paint. Now with Durant gone, it makes
Well,
them weaker.
another
I
thing.
mean, I don't know. I don't know,
Another
man.
thing that owners need to, whenever we do this vote, another thing the owners need to consider is if you get and if any of y'all doubt me, go ask Shump about this, or Caro. Either one of those guys won. If you get Golden State, it's a lose-lose. If you go all the way and you win with Golden State, everybody, oh well,
No, I
you
agree.
won, good
I
for
agree
you.
with
But
that.
you had Golden State.
I agree, but
And
I
then
also
if
say
you
it's a lot
lose,
harder.
it's like, dude, you're the
right?
shittiest person in the world.
Dude, I've
for
been
losing
saying
with
that
Golden State.
all season. I've been saying that same exact thing
I
all
know
season
we
long.
talk about it. We talk
Yeah.
about it all the time.
But
We talk about it all the time.
But I mean, realistically,
And-
now you have to look at the layout of the land here, and Memphis is a player. They had the strong bigs. If they could have beat us and stayed in the game and not quit like a bunch of bitches, they could have easily went on and competed for that final game, 6 or 7. Which, if you look at it and say, well, this team can compete and they're not getting 4-0'd like they were last season, was it just how weak the West was last season, or is it just? I mean, don't get me wrong, all season they were kicking everybody's ass. That's great, but it doesn't matter when you go into the playoffs. You focus on weaknesses in the playoffs. And somebody told me this, and it's the realist told me this, because we had a conversation in one of my shows a long time ago, and I voted against him because I was like, your team's just not strong in certain areas. And it's like, dude, the playoffs are a different story. You focus on their weaknesses. And I think they came back from a 3-0 and beat Crow's team to move forward in that playoffs. And I was like, damn, I have to really look at my analysis differently, because in the playoffs you can focus on those weaknesses and really exploit it. Like he was saying, it didn't matter who you had, because at your 4 and 5, you could have had the best player in the world at 3 and the best player in the world at 1, but your 4 and 5 was so damn weak. We were killing it. Like, as long as we shut down your 3-point, which we did, then you can't go 2 for 2 with us, because we're going to score every time down the paint by just pushing it in the paint. We're going to paintball the hell out of you, and they did. So I think you can still do that against Golden State. I still think there's 2 other teams out there that can do that against Golden State, and I think that drops them down a notch for me. Again, if they get voted out, I'm okay with. I'm on the fence here, but especially with Durant being gone, and even Durant coming back, even if we go late into the playoffs with Durant coming back, with the way that the salary cap is set up and the way that certain things are in order, I think it's against Golden State if you pick them at number 1. I don't think I would pick Golden State right now at number 1 if I had a choice. If I got the first pick, I don't think I would pick Golden State at number 1. I would trade to somebody who's going to pick Golden State at number 1 so I can get more cap for my real number 1 pick, but I don't think I would take Golden State at number 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, King Mizark, but that's right now as owner, you got first pick and Golden State was there. Would you take them?
I'm taking Golden State without Kevin Durant over the Cavs. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Easy.
Even though
Yeah,
you
Curry
just
Miles
beat
too
him?
on it,
fake.
Easy.
Even though you
Curry
just
is
beat
too-
him?
Easy, man.
Yeah, Curry is too
Easy.
unbelievable, and I mean, JaVale McGee is no slouch. I mean, that's all I need.
At
That's
all.
all I need. And then Draymond
At
and
all.
Clay.
Klay
What else do you?
Thompson, Draymond, man.
Draymond,
Killers.
JaVale McGee.
Killers.
I'll be fine with that.
Wow.
Easy
At the
number
end of the day,
one.
everyone
Still.
can say anything they want about Kyrie Irving or Lillard, but those guys get downgraded, dude. Curry is the face of the NBA at this point. He's not getting downgraded, and as you get a red
That's
ring, you
facts.
could shoot past half court.
He
That's
went like,
facts.
I don't know, he's struggling right now without Durant in the mix. I don't know how he's done the last couple games, but when I was out in San Francisco, man, they were crying in there all over the place. They're crying in their beer the fact that Durant went down and Curry couldn't pull the games out for him. So mean, that's real life, different than EBA. I understand that, and I think that they're broke as well still. But I also think there's teams that can compete against them. And I think Cleveland's one of them. I think Golden State is one of them. Or not Golden State, sorry, Clippers is one of them. Now I think now from the
Yeah,
play
the
that
Clippers.
I see, you can get the right people in Memphis. They can. I mean, they beat them this season. I think they can continue to beat them if you put the right people in the right spots. But I think any team can be beatable. I don't think there's a team out there that's unbeatable. And you proved that, I think, or Clippers proved that to me this season. Because I honestly, at the beginning of the season, I wanted to say, here, Golden State, take the trophy, it's over. And you guys ended up coming back and proving me wrong there.
I mean, the weighted cap is a big thing that's going to come into a factor on the vote, and we're keeping that. By the way, that's something that we're definitely going to keep the weighted cap. Even if Golden State's gone, we're going to fluctuate it and change it to a little bit more balanced. But it's something that we feel that really, really balanced out the league this year.
I agree.
And made it hella competitive. Made it so damn competitive this year, and every team had their good guys, and I love it, and we as a whole staff loved it. So that's something we're definitely going to keep. We're just we'll tweak and do what we need to do if Golden State goes. Or
the last
Golden
pick
State
was
stays,
what, Boston, right? Wasn't the last pick Boston?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they made it to the finals with the last pick because they had the salary to get good, solid people around them, and the
Great
salary
players,
to include someone like when Dimes wanted to trade it, they had the salary cap there available to say, hey, no problem, we'll take him. So I think that goes to show that with a bad team, if you have the money, you can get a really good player skill. So I like the salary cap. I think it should stay. I absolutely agree with you. But go ahead, sorry. Shout out to Boston, by the way, for making it to the finals as the last pick
Indeed.
in the team draft.
Indeed.
But,
they did what Miz couldn't.
Did what Miz couldn't with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ouch. Make it to the finals with the last pick in the league.
They were the last pick. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Big shout out to those
they
guys.
They have more money than you, though.
Good Lord.
Rick, where'd you get a hand grenade? I don't know.
He's over here throwing grenades.
Oh, James, that's a low blow, dude. I just got that.
I had to throw you one for leaving me, bro. But it's for the greater good. I got you. We'll leave it at that. But another few things that me and staff and Miz was a part of when we were going over things. Randomized conference we talked about.
Okay. Is that a real thing?
That's something that is something we were looking into. That's something I'm against 100%. We talked it out with staff. I'm not gonna say who's against it, who's not, but for me personally, I was against it. Because it's not my job to talk for another staff member. But for me personally, I was against it. We're gonna let the owners decide if they want to do a random conference or not, or we're gonna put it in their hands again. So whoever is an owner or wants to sign up as owner will have a chance to vote on a lot of these things.
Like for me, as long as one conference isn't an option, I'm okay with.
Look, I'm a sim guy. I don't even want to split their conference, to randomize it. We're only gonna do it as the two conferences. So it's gonna be owner vote for random conferences. Just everybody picks a team and then we'll just randomize it and see what team lands on what side, east or west.
Yeah.
I'm against that, but we'll see what the owners have to say about that when we get those in. Another thing that is going to be mandatory this season, which we'll put all this in a doc and stuff when the season comes closer, so that will be fresh on people's minds. Playoff stats. It's going to be a required asset. You're going to have to put in playoff stats, just like regular season stats.
Really should. You know how much time we spent building that back end for the fucking
That's
playoffs?
Exactly what I was about to say.
Spent 5 seasons
Ice
on
and
that
Nags
son of a
and
bitch.
then worked so hard to work on that. For these guys to just ignore it because they think it doesn't matter or whatever. Man, it's something for people to view that aren't in the playoffs. It's something that people outside looking in media, myself and Ice here, that we can go through and look at and determine who what. It was a little buggy, I heard, this season.
Yes.
Some people were having problems
some
putting stuff in.
Which that's what we really wanted them to utilize it to see where the bugs were so we can fix it to work those out.
Right.
I put in stats for every team for the first round just because I wanted to test the system. So I took screenshots. I went and got with Mike Man and I pulled him off mine for mine, and then I got with Mizark for his line and made sure that all of those were put in for the first round. But then nobody else moved forward with it. And I did hear there was a problem with the second round not accepting it. So we got those fixed. Those bugs should be ready to go. So please put in statistics.
That's something that we're definitely going to be required this year. But we'll figure out a punishment. While I get together with my staff, we'll figure out some punishment or something for people that don't want to do that. Free agent pool. This is something that I really, really like and we're really going to pursue.
Oh yeah, explain this.
Me, Ice. Me and you have talked about this many times.
Hmm.
Miz knows about it because we were in a meeting. Um, so I'll explain it again. I know I explained it last week, but since now we got Miz, people might actually watch the show. Uh,
Oh,
so what we're gonna do is when all the owners, we get all the owners and everybody that signed up for bidding makes it through bidding. So if you sign up late, you might not be able to play this season, depending on how this works out. So if you're listening to this, you better sign up. But we're looking for so everybody who makes it through bidding, right? Everybody that's been through and didn't get any bids, they're gonna go into what we're gonna call a free agent pool, and any player is open to any owner at that point. You can do call ups, send downs, all that good stuff. If you have a guy you're not liking, you can send them down, call somebody out of the free agent pool that made it through bidding. Only that made it through bidding. You could call them up and be on your team. You can also use them as an ECU. If you call somebody up as an ECU, you can only use that player one time that week.
so you're signing a one
And
game
then,
contract a week with him is what the way that it's okay.
Yeah, so one game contract, yes. And now you can call up as many as you want throughout the week, you know what I mean, as needed. But they're not gonna get any stats. But you can only use that one player one time,
Hmm.
once. Now that player in the free agent pool can play for every team that that needs him, but he can only play for that team one time per week. Now he can go and play with the same team again the next week, but that week he can only play once. Your stats won't count, but it'll give you an opportunity to play for teams, get your name out there, and if somebody's having a problem with somebody and they know, hey, look, I'm playing for this, I've played with this guy a couple times, he seems good, he's gonna work good for my line. They'll send the guy that they're having a problem with the down and call you up, no matter if it's availability or whatever.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that from a
at
free agent standpoint because it allows me to. I mean, I'm telling you this right now. If I was in a free agent last year in the same system, and I was just sitting around waiting to play, I would be hitting up, guys that were struggling to put a team together. New York,
mhm,
Raptors. I hate to say it, but even OKC, and I would be hitting those up saying, "Hey, call me up, dude. I'm active. I'm ready to play. Get me on your team." I would be reaching out to those teams, putting the power in my hand instead of the other way around. Um,
mhm.
which from an
And I mean
owner's
that's
point
some
of view, King Mizark, let me bounce over real fast. Do you like that, or do you have issues with that, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. There's sometimes some teams, with the current system, with the TC draft, that they would have guys that could play in the league that are active, that have open schedules, but they would just be stuck behind an already active team. I mean, this way, I mean, what I told James is, get a group me with the owners in there, or, with the owners in there and all the free agents. And, if someone needs one, because most of the time you're using these TCs on a last minute basis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, get us all in there, let us talk it out, and, it would be easier for us to find players in case someone has some life emergency come up, or if someone is being toxic and you don't want to put them in your active lines anymore. But I do support the idea. I'm with it 100% in my opinion.
Well, some owners has been around for a long time. I've got a couple of responses from them saying that they hate the idea because they don't have a reliable person as training camp that they can hold on to. And in a player's mentality, I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't want to sit on your training camp because I'm reliable. I want to play. That's why I signed up. I didn't sign up to sit here and wait for you to need me one night. I signed up to play. So I can see both sides of it. I mean, will you really miss your TC guys? I mean, you really won't know until the season goes to have to how hard it is to find a TC last minute or ECU, I guess, last minute. But I mean, do you think that's going to be a huge problem in the league, being able to not have two guys that you rely on that's assigned to you to be there when you need them?
No, I mean, I only played I've been an owner for 2 seasons, and I don't like the current TC systems. I don't like how it's ran. I made it clear, in my post throughout the season that that is one of the major things that has to be changed, because not only are it is totally random, and I'm sick of the conspiracy Illuminati theories that people have, but I'm not gonna say that it's a rigged system or not like that, but some teams just end up getting the better TCs, and I mean those. And I personally counted there was at least 5 to 10 guys last season that were either a late sign up or a TC that should have been at least 2 million. Should have at least went for 2 million of your salary if they would have signed up on time. So I like it this way better. I feel like it's going to be more fair for everyone. All these TCs are in a pool, and if you have, I think it's going to be a waiver order. If you have the worst record, you're going to have the,
Hmm.
first
I was
waiver
getting
in
to
order to
that.
claim someone. So
Yes.
I'm with it 100%. It's 100 times better than the current system, and I mean I see where people are coming from, but
Hmm.
no one had honestly two good TCs that were just ready and willing to play last season.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
with
I
that being
mean,
asked, with that kind of stepping back to you, Texas, um, so one of the things he brought up was the late signups getting randomly assigned. How are you going to handle that now? I mean, obviously going a separate situation where late signups aren't really free agents. So how are you going to handle late signups?
well, throughout the season, there will be we'll put a forum or something up to where an owner can complain about a free agent like just literally not want to play for your team or whatever that may be, just refusing to play. And if that happens, we'll ask staff contact the player, sort it out with the PA as well. Figure out what's going on. If the player is literally just trying not to play to be an asshole and doesn't want to play or refuse to play for this one guy, or just being blatantly, disrespectful and just refusing to partake in what he signed up for, then we'll get him out of there, out of the free agency. And as the number dwindles down, because people will blacklist somebody and then call somebody up if they need to, or which we have every season. And as that number dwindles down, that's when the late signups will come into play. I don't know if it's going to be five or like we still haven't decided a number yet on that, but we'll slowly integrate the late signups into the free agent pool late in the season after all the current free agents are nearly gone, and they'll be integrated in with a higher price tag.
Will it be? Do you have figure that out like
I don't know
a
if it's
number, or you? So
two
all the
minute,
current free
2 million,
agent
or
are still 500K, right?
500K.
Okay.
Yes,
And so
yes.
will you try to
And the late
judge
signups are
the?
going to be on an increased salary.
Got you, but you don't know what that number is yet for the late signups.
We're not sure. We're talking it out, we're hashing it out, and it's something that's going to be that we're going to get together with soon. We're going to get a couple more staff members in here to get different opinions and stuff like that. So, it's something that's right around the corner that we're going to figure out, but it'll be at an increased rate. So that way, it's kind of like a penalty for them for signing up late. You know what I mean? They can't just jump in and go to whatever team they want. And also, when they jump in, the claim order is going to be at the beginning of every week. The claim order is going to reset with the team with the worst record. The team with the
Gotcha.
worst record is going to get first claim to anybody, including the late signups that jump into the pool.
And are you going to notify when you're adding late signups? So you're going to make a post like I guess in the owners told me
Yes,
that
yes,
10 late signups
we
are
will,
now,
we will,
and they have access to the free agent list, right? I mean, or is you
and
just
they
going to
will
go
have
to the free
access to
agent
all the
list?
free agent list.
Okay.
We'll have a Google Doc up for the free agencies, the
Okay.
current free agents.
Good. So
Yes.
they'll be able to look and see who's on free agent, who to contact, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a pretty neat little system, and that's already voted. That's going into place.
That is going into place, yes.
Okay.
That will be going into place this year. And I feel like a lot of these owners that are kind of against it, they're guys that have been around for a while, in my opinion. So they're used to having it one way and having it this way, and it's something that might scare a little people because it's different and it's new. We don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But you don't know until you try, man. You got to take that one step forward to maybe get a walking start, man.
Well, I agree with
We're
Miz
working
over
on
here
something.
that it's broke. The free agent system or the current trading camp system is broke. And I think we get a lot of blacklists because of it. I didn't sign. I mean, I didn't play season 2 because I set season 1 in training camp, and I knew I would fill in during the season, and the people I would play against. I mean, I would be dropping decent points against them and be better than them. And I'm like, why am I not on a team when I'm just as good or better than these other people that are out? Is it a friend system? Is it whatever? And I just said I'm not going to sign up the second season and go into training camp. So I can see some of the blacklisteds get frustrated because they get dumped in somebody's training camp or they get dumped in the free agency, and then 2 weeks into the season they get randomly assigned, and then they get randomly assigned into someone's training camp, and then they're just like, I don't want to I don't want to play. I didn't make a team. I don't really care to play. So they get blacklisted. So hopefully this will narrow out the blacklisted to a lower point to where these free agents, if they really want to play, they can be, going out and hitting up owners and saying, listen, if you need somebody, hit me up. This is my availability, and if you need me throughout the week, I'm better than I'm better than that Texas James Smith guy you got on your team. So, hit me up because I could take his spot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
Mhm.
competition mentality that I like a lot better in the free agency. And everybody thinks they're the best, but if they fit good with your team, then I think it's better for the league as competitive. It's
And
better for the free agencies.
we're really shooting for lower forfeits, and we're really shooting to keep teams afloat later on in the season.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for, and that's what we're shooting for. And that comes on to the next rule that we have had
Okay.
that
What's
is
the next
going to affect next season. The forfeiting. This season, among a lot of like along the seasons, in the future, we're going to have a forfeit counter. So what that is gonna be is every forfeit you take, we're gonna register in the staff office, and when you reach a certain number, which with a 20 or what is it? What are we, 4 weeks, eight? Was it 16?
32.
How 32? Was it 32 games? Um, okay, so say you 32 game season. Uh, if you reach a certain amount of forfeits, which I think, what do we determine? Miz was it like 9, I think.
Oh yeah,
Um,
about.
yeah, I think it's like 9 or 10 on the season, give or take. We'll figure out a solid number here soon. But when you reach a certain amount of forfeits on the season, you will, as an owner, you will be stripped of your awards, for that current season. You won't get anything for forfeiting, for giving up in the last week. We're tired of that. We don't want that no more. So you will be punished, and your EC for that season will be taken away, and your awards will be taken away for that season.
Okay, when you guys
We're,
finalize
we're
that,
ti-
you need to get that to me so I can
I
change the
will. I
document.
know. But I've already
Because
talked. I already talked to Max. I think I
okay,
talked to you about that too. I'm not sure.
you might have
I
mentioned
think
it,
I
but I
talked to
don't. I
Max
hardly
about
ever
it.
listen when I'm not
And
in
if
this
you go
show.
past that
Oh,
number,
thank you. Thank
James.
you, Ice. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm getting there, Miz. I'm getting
Go
there.
ahead.
Okay,
And
okay.
well, and if it's gonna be like 9 or 10 is gonna be the number of forfeits on the season. You'll get stripped of rewards that you see, and then if you go beyond that, like 12 or 13 games forfeited on the season, it's a blacklist. We want to minimize this bullshit where, oh well, I'm not in the playoffs late in the season, so let me just, I don't give a shit. And for example, we have a guy that having a great season, and he's on track for an all-star, and you give up the last week and he doesn't get one game in, and he's ineligible for all-star because he didn't get enough games in. It's suffering for the players in the league, and it's suffering for the guys that are trying to get their better numbers and working hard to make sure that they look good on the stat sheet and look good on the win-loss record, and not have to suffer from the power rankings from a forfeit. So that's what we're really pushing for. That's something that's going to go into effect this season. That we'll make a post about all of these later on when we get closer to the beginning of the season. But that's something we're really tired of. We're really tired of those late forfeits, and we're tired of the good teams, the good owners that have worked their ass off all season to keep their team in check, to not be able to play that last week because some of these other owners want to give up and quit on the last week. So that's something that's going to affect this season. Talked about Golden State already. Gonna let the owner vote on that. Where did Cap stand?
Yeah.
Playoffs. We're gonna change the playoffs. Go back to the way it was before.
No.
To a 2-2-2-1 system.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
And
That's so broke.
And oh well, I did like your idea. Okay, well, you know what? We'll say that because I gotta talk to you about some stuff about that. I'll save that for another show maybe. I did like your idea that you came up with. We might go to that.
It hardly ever goes to a game 7. And so what? One line has to
Indeed,
show
you're
up a
right.
game 7
You're
on a
right.
Thursday or whatever, and just to
You're
finish out the
right.
season, finish out the week. I mean,
You're
it
right.
might push my show
Um,
back, but I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that. I will push the show back an hour if there's a game 7 so we can cover
for a
it.
game 7.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
if that's what it takes.
Um.
I mean, shit, we probably should be
Also, I think
airing
that
it. So go ahead. Sorry.
The
we're
time,
going to take
James.
to the. Yep. All right, Miss.
Yeah, Miz,
Hey, I'm
getting
slacking,
there.
dude.
So
I'm
what do you?
getting there. I gotta
so-
let my man
So,
Ice
Ms.
finish
Ark,
his talk,
what are
man.
you
Come
doing
on.
for commissioner next season? Do you know if you're gonna want to step in?
I'm just
Give this motherfucker.
I'm just trying to let
Make sure we
remind him
cover
what's
everything.
important because
I'm
that's
I'm
a big
looking at it
point.
right now, cuz I'm looking at it right now. So, the time, Ms. now that we're there, the schedule. We're gonna talk to the owners and make sure it's okay with a lot of these guys and make sure that everything's good. But we're pushing for this season. We wanna make this season a late game heavy. So we want to move the Monday games from 9 to 10. We want it to be 10 and 11, and possibly the Wednesday game from 10 to 11. Not sure about that yet. That we might keep that at 10, but we want the Monday games instead of being 9 to 10. We want it to be at 10, 11. We want to reach out to the West Coast community, and we want them to be more involved in what we're trying to do here at ETP. We want to give them an opportunity to play 3 games in a week, or 4 games in a week, so that way we can get more of them to come over here and be a part of what we're doing.
Okay.
Um,
Which, to
so,
be honest,
so that way
as
they
an
can
East
play the
Coast
11
guy,
on Sunday, Monday,
I don't
and
care,
Wednesday.
really. I mean, how you push it back to midnight because I'm still going to play my games. But for some Eastern guys, and I'm speaking on behalf of what I've heard, that the situation is, they play the game and then they go to bed, get up for work early in the morning, right? For people who got to get up early and go to work, that bad word work. For those people, it wouldn't be so bad if the game started at 11. But what happens is the game doesn't start till 11:30, doesn't get over till a little after midnight.
Well, even for those guys, they're still 9 to 10 on Sunday. They're still 10 on Monday. They're still 10 on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
there's still multiple games they can play.
Yeah, it still gives them 4, which is
And
good.
then possibly 10 on Wednesday.
10 on Wednesday too.
Possibly 10 on Wednesday.
Okay.
I mean, all you're doing is taking one 9 game and putting it in an 11 game. Possibly 10 to 11 on Wednesday, but the Monday game, we really want to move to 10 and 11. Because a lot of these guys, they work late. Like, you say guys want to go to bed and then get up early. Well, we got guys that work late as well, and we got the West Coast that we're trying to get in here as well. So it's
rumor has
I'm
it
Central,
Truth was
so,
crying about it. Is that a real thing or no?
No, not this.
Okay.
No, he was.
I know his schedule's jacked, so
Uh-uh.
I just said rumor has it just because I like picking on poor
Well, I'm
Truth.
gonna tell you
Go
this,
ahead.
Ice. Like for me as an owner,
Uh-huh.
the past 2 seasons, Mondays at 9 have been the hardest game to fill for me. I mean,
Okay.
for some reason, I feel like people have been coming home late, and honestly, I have had some people on the West Coast on my team, and even Central Time, and being at 8 Central or 6 Pacific,
that's
it
ridiculous.
was the hardest spot to fill. I mean,
Yeah.
for these past 2 seasons, Monday has been the most challenging day for me to get a 5 on that would probably stay together. I mean, that's how I want to run my team.
Yeah, I mean, you would know better as owner how hard it was. Me, I'm open all the time, so I don't know. I just hear people complaining one way or the other, and I'm a voice for the people. So, yeah, I don't care. To be honest with you. You can
speaking
make
of
it midnight,
truth,
but go ahead.
Speaking of truth, the example that I used that a guy missed a game in the last week, so he didn't get his All-Star. I heard that from Truth. My man was a little salty about that. So we got to fluctuate a little bit for those guys that missed their one game out of an All-Star.
Yeah.
Truth.
Well, like I said, that
All-Stars.
one
You can't really
video
blame the
is
guy.
that if Truth doesn't, if something happens where Truth misses an All-Star, rules change. So. He's gonna change the league to make sure he gets his All-Star. Anyway, is there anything else in the commissioner's corner? There's a lot we covered here. Anything else that we need to cover?
Well, Truth isn't ahead of the rule changes. We'll leave that to the staff and the community. But he has an opinion, just like the rest of us. So.
Oh yeah.
But as of everything, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean.
Well, let's be honest.
we'll go
Anybody
ahead
would be
and
pissed
move.
if you get down to the end and your owner
Indeed.
just gives up on
Indeed.
you,
It would
and
be
you're
some
like, dude,
bullshit.
I understand we're not
Absolutely.
going to make the playoffs, but I still want to compete. I still want. What I want to do then is take the guy that's
Yep,
fighting
trust
to
me,
make
I
that
should
third
have 3
seed
rings now, dude.
or that second seed. I want to fight and get that guy out of that second seed or that third seed spot. I mean, or I want to knock the 1 seed off. That's still me
Especially
as a
if you're not
competitive
competing
person.
for playoffs.
Yeah, and if I'm not competing, I just want to fuck with everybody else. I want to troll the hell out of everybody else. But, I at least want to try to worry about my statistics and worry about also beating the top teams and being competitive. And it's irritating when owners are forfeiting. Go ahead, sorry.
Something else. We're really pushing for a forced All-Star this season, an All-Star game. A forced All-Star game. I know me, you've talked about it a little bit. We want to penalize or do something with EC or something to get guys that make an all-star to play. We won an all-star game. We have, didn't you say we have awards for the all-star game
Yes, we
MVP
actually have an
and stuff
award
like
right
that?
here in the system. It's been there since day freaking one. I'm gonna pull it up now because I keep saying this to people and they think I'm full of shit. How elite currency works in the EBA. If you go to there, it'll tell you everything you need to know about EC. There's a little thing down here that says EBA All Star. Everybody gets their 1.5 million for making All Star, first, second, and third team. And then there's an EBA All Star Game MVP awarded to the best who performed in the All Star Game, makes an extra 1.5 mil. So that as an All Star gets 3 mil that game. Because he's an All Star that stood out amongst all the other All Stars, and it's supposed to be a fun, relaxed game. With the way the All Star system works in 2K, you can pick who you actually made it to the All Stars with, so that's kind of cool. You don't have to try to learn somebody new or try to play with whatever All Star player you want to play with. You can actually play with the guy that got you there, and even his backup. So that's cool. But that's there as well. So I mean, that's right here. We just never have done it. You know, we've tried to push it every season. People are like, yeah, let's do it. And there's a handful of people that do it. And there's a handful of people that just don't give a shit. They're already ready for the next season to start. So hopefully, you know, I'd be even
we
willing to
talked
put that
about a lot
on
of
EVA tonight and
things.
stream that one if it's a real thing and just having a fun, you know, brag on the players and really push up the players
You
and
know,
make
me
it.
and Ice, we've brainstormed about this a couple times. You know, talk with Ice a lot. You know, because we co-host together, and we brainstormed about maybe even getting a coach from the East and a coach from the West to pick the teams or whatever. And I mean, there's a lot of ways we're gonna do it. I mean, we have pretty much a season to figure it out. And if anybody has any ideas on that, to make
I
it
got the
good and fun
solution
for
for you right now,
everybody,
dude.
Shoot,
hit me
brother.
with it.
All-Star Team Up mode. You could choose the settings, choose All-Star Team Up mode, and they could use the position that they used throughout the season. I mean, they have every starter in that. So, I mean, let's just
No,
say, for
no, yeah.
Oh
example,
yeah,
Chris
that's what I
That's
just
how it
Paul,
said.
and
would do.
you could
That's
have
how it
Kevin
would
That's how it
Durant.
do.
would do.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Oh, okay.
we were talking about picking a East MVP and a West MVP, or I'm sorry, an East All Star coach and a West All Star coach. You know, the pick and maybe giving them an EC value or an award for for winning the All Star game, but putting together a team based on the All Stars. So you have, you know, we always
Oh, I
have three.
see.
We always have three from the West, three from the point guard from the West, three from the
East
East.
and
So
West.
the East coach would go
And
through
he
and
gets
say,
to kind of
which
like
point
pick
guard
who
do
he
I want to
wants.
pick there? He would contact him and say, hey, I need you to play this night for the All Star game. And they would be like, okay, great. If he said, no, I can't make it, then he would pick one of the other two guys. So he would be putting together the team and putting them up for some EC and also some bragging rights. Maybe even
Okay,
award.
that
I
makes
don't
sense.
know. You know, something to make them push it. You know, make the owners. But you got two best owners that are competitive anyway. You know, they're going to want to put together their dream team that they want. But yes, the player. So for instance, if you put me in there, I'd be using Luke or whoever I used, Wesley Matthews, whoever I used this year.
Wesley
That would be the
Johnson.
guy. Yeah, Wesley Johnson. I don't know why it was Wesley Matthews, but Wesley Johnson. That's the guy I would be using in that position. Or you know, Tristan Thompson or whatever it is that Texas used,
And
he
the
would be
owner
using
would go
that guy.
through and pick which guy he wants out of this point guard, shooting guard. Like the West guy would pick fucking Curry, Clay, who was it be like Durant. I don't know why we just
So you're gonna put the
this is
whole
why
Warriors
Golden State
team out
needs
Pretty
there.
much put the whole
this
Warriors
this
team
is
out
why
there.
Golden State
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
to
So
pick,
I
man.
got you. I got
Just
you.
go through and name all these motherfuckers, but yeah, and
Well,
then
no, you'd put
I don't
DeAndre
know.
as center.
But
So that's the change.
Oh
there you go.
yeah,
DeAndre as center.
DeAndre and Blake
that
Yeah.
team
at
is
the 4 or
unstoppable right
5.
there.
So
There you go, man.
and then
And
you'd put him
that's
against
what
the
you would
East
do.
best, and then you know the
Yeah,
All
you'd have
Star.
like G Money, Shump. I don't know who else all made All Stars in the West, but just the greatest from the West versus the greatest from the East it'd be dope, and it'd be from the owner to pick those guys, and it would be cool, and it would be
And
something
maybe
that
if
we
we
do.
add
And
a
it'd be
couple, we
for
could probably
EC.
add a couple more awards as well. So like an award if you played in the All Star game, and maybe an award if you won the All Star.
Have the
Yeah, if you maybe an
Ice or
award for
EBA
the.
the Jewels commentate over it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you
Like
go.
just
There you
giving them money for participating, giving them
Yeah,
EC
yeah, maybe
for
something. An
participating
award for the
in
guys who
things.
win.
Yeah.
You know, for the team that wins, they get an award and some EC or something. You know, for actually playing in the All Star game. So even though the other teams were selected for the All Star, these guys get an award for winning. I'll talk to Mags a little bit about it and see what we can come up with on the EC side and the site side. But I'm
Okay.
down for pushing it. I think it betters the league. I think it gives guys a reason to finish out the season as owners, because then they get a chance. Their team is yelling at them saying, "Hey, I want to fucking play, dude." So it really pushes everything I think forward for the league, for the betterment of the players. Because let's be honest, we're here just for statistics, for competition, and for fake awards. We don't get anything else out of this other than, like I've said many
Fuck you.
times. Like I said,
If I ever win the MVP, I'm gonna order myself a damn trophy. You best believe that shit.
okay, well, you do that. I'm not gonna have a
EBA
real trophy
MVP.
for a fake league, but
I
that's
see
okay.
it now.
Um,
I see it now.
but
On my wall.
for me, it's a
Sparkling.
little bit more than that, and the
Looking
reason
at
why
me.
we set up the league is because, I've met some pretty awesome people that I probably would never been on my friends list, and you're one of them, Texas. I would have never bumped into you if it wasn't for the VFL. You know, it's just we have different groups we hang with, we have different people we play with. Same with King Mizarks. I'd have never met him or his brother G Money other than just talk about them on the show if I didn't get a chance to play with them this season. And now I consider them both cool guys. I'd hop in a party with them. Whatever they would need, I would be willing to stretch over backwards to make sure they get for the league. But it's meeting those cool people and being competitive with other people. That's what this league means to me. It's way deeper than just give me a fake trophy. It's cool to be able to say I got a trophy, but other than just give me a fake trophy and give me this fake money, it's much deeper than that. So that's why the league's here. So anything we can do to help benefit that, definitely shoot out some ideas. And
That
let's
fake
go.
money can earn you cash in our pro league that's coming soon.
That can.
Take
You're
notes.
gonna need some. You're gonna need some fake EC here in order to join in those pro leagues. And for those of you who don't know, that's technically not really on the thing, but since we're here, we'll discuss it. Are you done with Commissioner's Corner? I wanna move on if you're done with Commissioner's Corner. Are you all done? Is there anything else you need to discuss?
Sure.
You sure? Hey, Miz, did he miss
is there
anything?
anything else I need to
Miz,
discuss?
let him know what he missed.
No, he's good. He did his job.
You sure?
I've been keeping an eye on him.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. If I keep Texas James in line. So hashtag reach out. Reach out for the EHL is launching this Sunday. Hopefully, I'm gonna knock on some wood because I've had to switch some owners around. But anyway, the EHL looks like it's gonna take off. That's good. At least we'll have one line. We're gonna do a free agency very similar to the one we have here, that I've done over there. Before Texas even came to me about the idea over here, I already had it set up in the EHL. Just saying.
Oh, my
NHL
goodness.
16 is $20, by the way, if you want to grab
$20
it.
here. If you
Sign
wait,
up.
it'll be
20
free
bucks,
in no
digital
time.
Download.
So I mean, fuck it, they're gonna give it free on
And
their
it's
damn thing.
only
It
on
is-
17?
Yeah.
Yeah, NHL 17,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I just saw it on. I just bought
think it's
FIFA.
60.
That and FIFA were $20 each, so it's on Amazon. It's a digital download.
Yeah, if you've got the, I don't even know if it's free yet in that, but it's got to be real soon.
EA
It's free in
Access?
the EA Access. I know Madden was free in the EA Access now. But you can get NHL, EA Access, probably even get a discount on the download, or even go to Amazon, get it for $20. If you want to play, it's there. We're going to run something very similar, but it's only going to be one line per team, just to kind of get EHL take off again. That will be up. Also, reach out. Get people to sign up, man. We need 100 people. That's 10 per team. That's to even say that, hey, we have a full roster. Beyond that, you need another good 20 to 25 people. That's going to be free agency, because people ain't going to pick up other people like Jay Snyder's punk ass. So he's going to set in free agency and probably die there. So definitely sign up. Get other people to sign up. Push the league forward. Appreciate guys like Mizark and those other guys. Reach out to those guys as free agencies and let them know that you're there. Try to get on a team. I mean, just let's get this thing rolling. I'm ready to get started for the next season. And I'm tired of hearing people say, "Oh, the off season takes too long." The reason why the off season takes long is because your punk ass ain't signing up or getting your boys to sign up, or we can't get owners to step up. That's why the season takes so damn long. It would already be going
if
by now.
everybody
if it wasn't for that.
in the free agency would get one of their friends to sign up and come and play, we'd be ready. We'd be ready to go. We wait for. I'd get the owners in here, get them like, let's do it. Start this bitch Sunday. Like, let's get it going. All we need
Let me
is
say
one person to
something.
bring one person.
Go ahead.
Everybody to bring one person, and we're done.
When you're recommending EBA to people, especially people that play in other leagues, take a minute out of your day and let them know what it is. Explain to them that it is a bidding. There is a cool stat system that no other league has, and there are awards and these cool features that we have, and take a minute and explain to them that it's a set schedule, because you don't want people just signing up for no reason just to fill up the free agency pool, and then when the season starts, some people are going to be stuck with them. And I mean, for the players, for any new people that signed up, reach out to the owners, make a thread, hit them up on Xbox, do something because, I do agree a lot of people do have clicks, but I mean, just coming from me, I'm not against trying anyone out. I'm not against, playing some games with you here and there, or to even as simple as taking a look at some screenshots of, what you have done in previous team up games. Because I mean, everyone's got those screenshots. Let's be honest. So, I mean, take a minute out of your time, whether you're signing someone up or you are a new sign up, and just do those steps, and it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, definitely. So listen to King Mizark. Don't back talk and do what he says. Get your people signed up. Reach out to people. Take the moment to speak out to them and tell them what it's about. For those of you who are wondering what the hell I'm doing on the screen, I'm just adding some of the GDC events here. There are some GDC photos that I took while I was at GDC. And I can't find where my other video is. But anyway, definitely let's get more people signed up and get them rolling. And let's get the damn thing rolling here. God, it's taking forever for us to get rolling this off season. On a different note, just talk a little bit about Pro-Am while I'm showing, like I said, images of GDC and stuff in the background here. Let's discuss Pro-Am. Pro-Am's a real thing. We have I know we keep saying it's coming. Mags is going to do his best to have it up here this weekend, and have people sign up. It's going to cost, I think it's like whatever $30 cost an EC. That's how many gold EC you enter in with. When you enter in, you are able to pick your team that you're bringing on. So 8 guys. If you want to look at the payout, it's on the website. You can look at the payout. And really see what, if it's worth for you to bring your team in. I think it's something like with 20 teams, it's $450 or something like that. If you can get more, that of course goes up. The site doesn't make a ton of money. It's really mainly about just trying to get our guys that are playing in multiple leagues to play. If you're playing in other leagues, money leagues, then we want you to play here, money leagues. If you're playing something somewhere else, we want you to play here, that something else, whatever it may be. So if you've got a 4 honor league, I think is trying to get rolling. I don't know where that's at, but if you got other leagues like that you're playing at somewhere else, we want you here on our site playing. So definitely hit us up, let us know. Pro-Am should become Pro leagues, EBA Pro leagues. I get the question a lot. Well, won't it take away from our normal leagues? No, it won't, because there are people are already playing pro leagues. I mean, Mizark, how many pro leagues are you currently playing in? Or money leagues,
2.
I should say. So you're playing in 2 money leagues and our league. So you're already playing in money
2
leagues.
money leagues and your league, yeah. So I mean, there's really 3 main leagues that go on in 2K, so I'm already playing in them anyways.
Yeah, so if you're going to play on them anyway, I want them to play here. We'll still have awards, we'll still have money, or not money, but we'll still have awards, we'll still have actually money being paid out like all the other money leagues. We'll do statistics like we currently do statistics. We might change the way some of the rules work because it's different when you're doing a money compared to a sign up and free to play. So there will be some rule changes. Nothing major, I think, but it will get more in line with other kind of money leagues. And it is, if you play enough in our free to play leagues, you can actually use that EC, turn it into gold, and take a team to try to win money. So it isn't even, it takes like 20 leagues, but still, you can still do that and still sign up for that as well. I think that's really it going on along the league. Like I said, I'm showing videos now in the background of GDC and so forth. Is there anything I'm missing, guys, that you guys want to discuss or talk about?
No, I'm good.
Good.
All right. So, as always, a pleasure for running the show. Thank you to the one, the only Texas James Smith.
Of course, that commissioner music in the background, I'm digging it.
Yeah, always playing that. So I got to figure out how I can let you guys hear it. And I'm going to play just because the breaking announcement that King Mizark is coming back to give his back-to-back championship. The thrill music that I'm playing for you, Mr. King Mizark, we appreciate you coming back. Thank you for being on the show as owner. Thank you for coming back as owner. And trying to step up
problem,
and
man.
make this league a better place. I appreciate that. And anybody that's for, the league, I'm 100% supportive of. So big shout out to you as well. And thank you to everybody else that signed up and play. Let's get the season on the road, right?
Let's do it, man. Get your buddies to sign up, man. If you don't sign up early and make it through the bidding, you might not have an opportunity to play this season, depending on how long that free agent pool lasts. So make sure y'all get in early.
I hope the free agent pool works better than it has in the past. I see it as a good idea. Hopefully it'll work better. I like the idea better. So, all right.
God bless you all, man.
Yep.
Finish out. I felt kind of stupid because I just chunked up a dude so I can actually see what the fuck I was doing. Commish out, dude.
Commish out. Commish out.
Did you really?
I did. I really did. Like, niggas knew what the fuck I was doing.
You thought your connect was on?
I don't know. I just felt like I was like commish out. I felt like it was cool, man. I had to chunk up the dude. I don't know. I had to look cool for. Had to look cool for the sound good.
Yo, at this event, at this GDC event, I met with a lot of people. And the picture I'm showing now is some of the crazy like control. There was a controller event where this dude like created this box, and you actually play in this box part of the game, and as you turn it, it moves the like flying thing on the screen. It's jacked up. You gotta watch the stream to watch it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's all kinds of cool stuff.
You have to wear that fucking tin can helmet.
I didn't play it. I wanted to, but I didn't play it. I was busy the whole event. These are just some quick pictures I took while I was running around with my head
Looks
cut
like
off.
a damn kitchen strainer.
Look at this one. This. I met Texas James Smith there too. This is him right here. Right here.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to see that when it comes up.
I'm gonna leave it there for a minute before you see it. This was actually, the face team was actually facial motion that they were trying to sell to game developing companies.
Yo.
So
Like, that's what I look like, instead of holding up a fist, now chunking the dudes when I was like, miss out.
Deuce. Dude, yeah, some of these are crazy. I mean, God, the stuff that they're doing and with high def and VR is nuts right now. Just absolutely nuts. Yeah, it was crazy. Dude, I seen this Paranormal Activity. This is the only game I actually got to sit down and play. It's a VR Paranormal Activity. And I shit myself, dude. It was so fucking scary. Like, I'm a grown-ass man. I was scared to death. I also went to Alcatraz. That's how I'm going to end the show.